Welcome back to my channel. I am Monique, the host of Sempertegui, the podcast. Today I'm doing a vlog of how I'm making my animated short film. It is a stop motion short film. And today I just knew that I didn't really want to have to go through doing the mouth replacements for my characters. So I reached out to my mentee, who's now like a professional, doing her thing in modeling and rigging. And I asked her to start exploring and experimenting with a 2D mouth rig that I can, well, it's like 2D seeming, but it's in 3D. And so that I can put that onto my characters in post and like actually animate the mouth shapes that way. So I've done enough rambling. I'm going to bring her on. Welcome, Brianna. I love this. They should have never gave me this. I'm so happy to have you.
I'm happy
Can
to be here.
just tell the people a little bit about like how you got into 3D modeling, rigging? Why did you want to pursue that instead of like, animation or like lighting or something like that? Like, I don't know.
I'm an SVA alum. I joined SVA as a 2D student, and literally like a week before classes started, realized, oh, they're not the same major. I'm not going to be touching 3D. So I had my mom like pedal to the metal drive me to the admissions office and beg them to let me change my major a week before classes started, and they thankfully let me change my major. Um, I kind of floundered for like the first 2 years in SVA. I didn't quite know what I wanted to do. I knew I didn't want to do animation. I didn't enjoy it at all. It didn't vibe with me. I'm not that kind of girl. People who do animation, you kind of scare me. It's not for me. And then I met Frank Narajo in my junior year of college. He was my regular like 3D teacher, and he was amazing. And he got me into modeling, and then he really got me into rigging towards the end of my junior year and all throughout my senior year because there was no rigging class. And he was like, I'm going to hold a couple of students hostage and teach them how to rig. And that's how I learned how to rig. And the modeling just was like a comfort for me. I kind of go blank the brain. So I love it. I love working and I love modeling. And I've kind of figured out ways how to do that in my career, mainly in layout. I kind of really love like previs and layout just because
That makes sense.
it's a baby of both. You got to do a lot of modeling and a lot of before animation rigging. I don't have to really touch animation at all. So I kind of love it. I've learned a lot about rigging, especially rigging, working as a working as a rigging artist at Zero VFX, and as a layout artist while I was at Netflix. And yeah, so that's kind of how I kind of stumbled my way into the career I have today is by that one man saying, I'm going to hold you hostage after class. Come learn
And I think
from me.
it's also important to specify like you don't do character modeling, right?
No, yeah. The way that animators scare me is also the way that character modelers scare me. Although I'm working on that, or I'm like I want that to be a part of my Rolodex of skills is character modeling,
Mm.
just because there's such a demand for it. And it also I've learned begrudgingly that understanding the way a character is made really helps in understanding the way a character should be rigged. So I can't avoid it forever. It's like you got to eat your your green beans, you got to eat your broccoli if you want dessert. So I
I
got
take broccolis over green beans, so
mm, yeah, yeah.
yeah, just me. Oh.
No, no, you're.
Okay. So let's bring up your work and have you walk through it for us.
So this is just, it looks like there's nothing here, but really there is a main control right here. And there are all of these different mouth controls here. And say if we want to turn on this one, it's a straight line of a mouth. And these two controls above it will make it smile or make it frown. And then there are shapes here of different mouth shapes, different like teeth here, and neutral smiles, and all of these kind of switch in and out. These controls here basically control the visibility of each of these polygons. These are just flat polygons. There's nothing really special to them. They're just flat topology. Nothing really complicated, nothing really special. I don't know what I did. There we go. Nothing really special, nothing really complicated. And all of these 0 to 1 controls control the visibility rather than moving it through space. And that's part of the reason as to why I chose to make it a 0 1 control. Because visibility is also binary. It's either it's visible or it's not visible. And so I wanted these controls to easily turn on and off the visibility of these mouth controls. If it was a blend shape, then these would be like 0 to 10 and easily blend in between, but that's not really the stop motion way, or it's not really like replacement stop motion way. It's more of it's popping in and out as you go along, and you have different mouth shapes in between to kind of ease your way through it. Um, so I decided to have joint shapes. I mean, yes, I decided to have joints in here, or maybe I didn't. We should probably turn this on instead of lying to you. Uh, so I have somewhere in here these joints. And the reason why I have these joints is because originally, when I was first rigging this, when I was still a baby at rigging, and you might be able to see it here, I have these curve controls, these curve deformers on the mouth. But I didn't quite understand the curve deformer because I wanted it to slice right between the mouth and control this side, one side versus the other side. But I didn't know how to make it do that as a very baby junior rigger, and so instead I just went to the tried and true. Just use joints. When in doubt, you don't know how the deformer works. A joint will do it. I promise it will. Um, and so that's how we got these joints and these curved deformers here. The curved deformers don't do anything. It's not doing anything. It's all joints. I ended up lining up these joints to the mouth and then making another flat strip just because the topology on the mouth is a little weird. And so I made a flat strip and attached the joints to there just because it would be a 1 to 1 super smooth gradient of joint controls. And then I copied the skinning from that one bar to this mouth just to make it that super smooth, just that super smooth curve in between the joints. Um, yeah, so if I can just come out of here to, oh, I had it already. So the perspective on here is basically just completely flat. Like you can see here, it's like kind of like paper almost, like they're paper mouth replacements.
Okay.
And this can rotate and it can translate. And something that I learned, just because it was something that I was hiding because I was such a junior rigger when I first made this, is this doesn't scale because I didn't know how to make things scale in rig.
And that's so important
Yeah,
because it has to match the characters that they're gonna be stop motion characters, so they're gonna come in big.
right. And so now that I'm not an adult rigger, but I've learned a bit in my like 2-ish years of rigging professionally, is I figured out why my rigs won't scale or why the
Nice.
main scale won't work. So I've slowly been like going through my archives and fixing that. And this is next on the chopping block of getting its scale fixed. There are a few more complicated mouth shapes that aren't on here just because once again, I was so junior at this, I didn't quite know how to make it. So, for example, an F, it would have like cutouts for the lip for where you're cutting or where you're biting your lip when you make the letter F. But now I would know how to make that. I wouldn't know how to make then. So, other mouth shapes other than just L and O will be on here. But yeah, there's L with its tongue. Um, yeah, so that's mainly the rig. It's not a very complicated rig, just because it's not a very complicated ask. It's basically just replacing one polygon for the other. It's not asking for blend shapes, for example. It's not asking for crazy deformers or very human and realistic mouth shapes. So it doesn't need to be very complicated. It could be super simple as just replacing mouth shapes. It's not gonna go too crazy because if any rigging student has learned, there's like 1,000 mouth shapes because the human mouth can be so complicated. It's very strange and it makes a lot of shapes that don't look great sometimes. But
Right, right.
this project won't need that exactly just because stop motion can be very forgiving as far as blending in between each other. Whereas if this was a 3D head, it's not forgiving at all. You need to have those shapes nailed, or else it's going to get real weird real fast. So this will
Mhm.
have more shapes, but it won't be like if you've ever seen like a Rolodex of like a 3D mouth rig and it's just like you're scrolling for days of different mouth shapes. It's not going to be that. It's going to be a little more clean just because I know what I'm doing now a little bit more.
Right, right. Right. So as I'm like, saw you demoing it, I had some ideas come. So I think, no pressure. It's probably not going to be in the immediate future, but I can see us possibly doing like a working session, a live
Yeah.
stream, because I have some feedback and some ideas from you doing this that, I think can improve the next go around.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. One thing I know that if there's any riggers listening, listen to your animators. Like I know that they sometimes give you anxiety because they ask you for things and you're just like, I don't know, I don't know how to do that. But I've had animators give me really great feedback that help make me a better rigger. Sometimes it's just like you're asking for a lot. I can't do that for you. I'm so sorry. But
Mhm.
sometimes the advice that they give you or the things that they ask for will make you a better rigger. And listening to your animator will make other animators want to work with you. So that's my I guess my little bit of advice is listen to your animators. I know you don't want to because sometimes it's crazy, but listen to them. They do have good advice for you.
Nice, nice. So, thank you so much, Brianna, for just, giving me some of your time today, for going through the demo. I really appreciate it. I know the viewers appreciate it. If anyone has any comments, if you have any questions or whatever, we could bring Brianna back. Like I said, I think we might do a live working session and see you implement some of the ideas that I have. And that could be a good time for any viewers to have their questions answered, but definitely put the questions in the comments so that we can make sure we include them when we do that live stream. So again, my name is Monique and this is Brianna. You can find me at Simply Robotics on everything, everywhere, all at once. I'm joking. And Brianna, you could just find her through me. If you're trying to find her stuff, just contact me and I'll point you to her. And that's it. So I'll see you next time. Thank you.
Bye.